Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. I hope that you're having a fabulous start to your week. Welcome back to our weekly Minks Monday Q&A. Before we get started, let me share the bag that I'm currently rocking, and that is the Dior Book Tote in the small size in the burgundy oblique. All right, so let's get this show on the road, shall we? Starting with the first question from Chloe F. Do you have any items that weren't on your wish list that only came up because of YouTube or Instagram and purchased them? What were they and how did they work out? I try to keep focused, but sometimes, LOL. I know, right? I know the struggle is real. I feel like sometimes I'm pretty successful at putting those blinders on, but other times they just come off and it's just absolute madness. Absolute madness. So I totally know what you're talking about. All right, so I'm sure I have quite a few items that YouTube made me do it or Instagram made me do it, but these items that I'm about to share with you definitely stand out the most. So as far as handbags go, come on. Of course, the bum bag. So the bum bag, you guys know if you've been watching my channel for a while, I didn't like the idea of it. I don't like fanny packs. I thought this was not the most attractive handbag. I was like, why? I ended up seeing it on Instagram and I started getting very intrigued, especially with how people were incorporating it into their wardrobes. So I fell in love and then I became obsessed. Then I started doing even more research and of course it ended up becoming part of my collection. So this is definitely one that I can say YouTube made me do it or Instagram made me do it. And what seems like thousands of pictures and videos that I watched on it really helped to fuel that fire to want to add that item to my collection even more. All right, another handbag, of course, is the Palm Springs mini backpack. Now this one I did not purchase, it was a gift, but along the same lines as the bum bag, I was like, no, it's too small. It's way too small. I judge a book by its cover, and I didn't want to like it. And the same thing happened. I ended up watching video after video. I started being very intrigued by all the posts on Instagram and just seeing it everywhere. It's an awesome bag. All right, it's an awesome bag. And even though I know I always talk about it, even though it doesn't have the friendliest opening because it is fussy. This is the older version with the hidden zipper. I'm still crazy about it. I'm still crazy about it and I still use it. So this one definitely is also a YouTube made me do it, Instagram, because I can honestly say that had it not been for Instagram or for YouTube, I probably would have just stuck to the same thing like, oh, it's just a small backpack. What am I going to use it for? Not the case, not the case, especially when I started to see how much versatility it had. Oh yeah. All right, now these items, or this item I should say, it's not that it wasn't on my wish list, but this, it's so funny because one of my very good friends on Instagram, Keylux, she actually put a post on it the other day and it couldn't be more true. But another item that was plastered all over Instagram that just had me very intrigued is this little Chanel hand cream, all right? This little hand cream, I remember seeing it all over Instagram and I'm like, what? What is this? What is this? And for the most part, in the past, I used to carry lotions with me and then I stopped for a while. I was like, it's not really my thing. And then I started seeing these and I was like, oh, wait a minute. Let's check it out a little bit more. Let's peep it out. Of course, it has a ridiculous price point. All right, let's just call it what it is. It is a ridiculous price point. It is a splurge. However, it also leaves my hands incredibly soft and I love it so much. Actually, this was my first one. I love it so much that I ended up getting 2 more. So it just, I mean, what can I say? All right, it's such a cute little package. It's very ergonomic and it ends up fitting inside of my smallest handbags, no problem. Inside of my larger handbags, no problem. And I just think that they're incredibly cute. They also smell great. This one, maybe not as much as the regular ones. And I know that they have another main hand lotion, but I love these little eggs. I think that they're adorable. I am hooked, but I hands down 100% blame Instagram because had it not been for Instagram, I wouldn't have known about these. Or maybe later on if I was in the store or something like that. But what about you guys? Did you end up buying something that wasn't on your wish list because YouTube or Instagram made you do it? Whatever the case may be, let us know in the comment section down below. But the struggle is real. As I said previously, it is real. And those blinders are cool because they help keep you focused. And especially if it's a holy grail item that you're looking to get. But other times when they come off, it's nice that you find something that maybe you wouldn't have known about had those blinders been on in the first place. So I know it sounds like I'm justifying it. I'm justifying it, right? But at least in my case, these items have worked out, and I've used them to death since they've been since they became a part of my collection. But again, I would love to hear your thoughts on the comment section down below. Next question from Claudia C. Do you think that mini bags are here to stay? So when it comes to mini bags, I 100% think that they're here to stay. And it's funny because I was actually watching a previous Minks Monday. It was in December of 2017. This same topic came up, and in that video I responded that I didn't think that mini bags were going to be around for another year and a half longer. I thought that it would end up kind of dying down. And here we are almost 3 years later, and mini bags are still incredibly popular. In all honesty, I feel like mini bags are even more popular today than they were 3 to 4 years ago. And the reason why I feel like they're here to stay is because I think that a lot of these fashion houses are starting to realize that while a lot of people do end up following trends, not everyone. I know I'm not the most fashion forward person on the planet. I end up going for something that I like. I think that a lot of these fashion houses are starting to realize that people, they want variety. They want variety. And while I do think that there's still going to be it bags, I feel like if you have more options for people, if you have a hobo, if you have a crossbody, a backpack, a mini bag, you are not limiting yourself to only one client. You're not limiting yourself to only one customer. You have variety. You have options for them to pick from. And I think that's the smartest thing that a lot of these fashion houses can do. I think that mini bags, well, I don't think that they necessarily be considered a classic. Well, maybe to a certain extent. I feel like it's something that it's a silhouette that they will constantly end up reintroducing, whether it's different textures or different hardwares or what have you. I feel like they will continuously have a type of mini bag. And back in the day, backpacks or mini bags were really popular. They died down and then they'd come back 10 to 15 years later. And I honestly don't see that happening, at least with the way that it's kind of pointing out to be, that it's just going to be all about variety, because it does come down to personal preference. Not everyone wants a mini bag. Not everyone wants this giant hobo. People want options. So if these fashion houses give people those options, you're not limiting yourself, and you have a better chance of making more money because you just don't have a type of silhouette, a type of style that people only go to you for that. So I mean, I could be wrong. As I said before, I'm not really on point when it comes to fashions and whatnot, but that's honestly how I see it happening. Because like I said, almost 3 years later, mini bags are just, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy to me because, as you guys know, I wasn't very fond of mini bags back in the day. I want a big bag. I want a big tote. And even though I still feel that way, I definitely have a new appreciation for mini bags, to the point where I've kind of, I guess you might say, I've kind of gone off the deep end and started to incorporate nanos and and petites and whatnot. Yeah, it's interesting to see, and it'll be really interesting to see where mini bags are 5 years from now. Who knows? I might end up eating my words again. Only time will tell. But I would love to know, what do you guys think? Do you think that mini bags are here to stay? Do you think that mini bags are going to be considered part of a classic silhouette? Do you think that they're going to go away and be replaced with something else? Whatever the case may be, let us know in the comment section down below. But awesome question. Next question from Pietra Kudo. Hopefully I said that correctly. Thoughts on the new Recto Verso SLG? So before I get any further, let me insert a picture of Louis Vuitton's newest release, small leather good, the Recto Verso. This item is available in 2 different textures. You can either go for the monogram canvas with the black leather that comes in at $590 here in the States, or you can go for the Empreinte version, and that one is available in the black or the marine rouge, and it comes in at $740 here in the States. So the Recto Verso pretty much directly translates to double-sided or front to back, and I honestly don't know how I feel about the small leather good. I think that it does bring a lot to the table. I think that it has a whole lot of variety to it, a lot of versatility to it, because you can end up using it as a wallet, you can use it as a catch-all, you can use it as a coin pouch, you can also attach it to a belt loop or to a handbag, because it also comes with the with a little chain. So I think that it has a lot going on, and I do think that it has a lot to offer, but at the same time, there's a part of me that feels that if you end up using it as a wallet and as a catch-all, and if you end up trying to put something into that front pocket, I think that it would make it look very bulky very quickly, to the point where the zipper might be a little bit wonky if you were to zip it up, or that snap button closure might not be as secure, because if you're putting a lot of pressure in what you have on the inside, it might end up pushing it off. I could be wrong. I mean, I haven't gone to the store to physically look at it, so I can be completely wrong, but that's just what I end up seeing happening. I do think that it's beautiful. I think it's absolutely beautiful, but just based on what I've seen and the measurements that it has, it doesn't seem like it has a whole lot of, it's not as generous as I would have liked it to be. Let me just show you guys, or read you guys the dimensions. It is 5.5 inches in length, approximately 5 inches in length. It is 3.75 inches in height, and a little bit under an inch in width. So I think it's a great item. I think it looks great, but I don't think that it's going to be as functional. I could be wrong, absolutely, but when I first saw it, I was definitely intrigued. And then I saw the price point, and I mean, it's not the friendliest price point, but at the same time, it's essentially 3 small leather goods in one. But then I saw the price for the on-prompt version, and I was like, oh man, that's pretty steep. That's pretty steep. But I get it. I know that Louis Vuitton is trying to push their leather pieces more than their canvas pieces. I completely understand that. But the price point, I expected it to be maybe a little bit less than what it's going for. But it is beautiful nonetheless. But I would love to know, how do you guys feel about this item? Do you love it? Is this something that you're looking to buy? Is this something that you've thought twice about, or whatever the case may be? Let us know in the comment section down below. I will also have to say one other thing, and I know this might be very childish. I'm not too fond of the name that it has. I prefer to call it just the Verso or the double-sided small leather good. I don't know. But either way, I would love to hear your thoughts on this item. Next question from Claudia Mason. I want to add a cosmetic / toiletry case to my collection, but I'm having a hard time deciding between the Louis Vuitton Toiletry 15 and the Louis Vuitton cosmetic pouch. Which do you prefer and why? All right, so I did bring them out so we have a little bit more eye candy. This is the Toiletry 15 and the monogram canvas, and the cosmetic pouch in the multicolor noir. I think both of them are beautiful. I don't think that you can go wrong with either. Personally, between the two, I definitely end up preferring the Toiletry 15. I do like the fact that both of them have the zippered closure. I love the fact that you're able to use these not only as cosmetic cases, you can also use them as catch-alls or as a little mini clutch if you wanted to as well. So I do find them to be incredibly versatile. And I also love the fact that both of them do have the wipeable interior, so that way if you were to spill any type of makeup or lipstick, it's very easy to clean up. Now, the biggest pros with the Toiletry 15 for myself, the first one being the size. I love the fact that I'm able to use this and incorporate this with my smallest handbags and my larger handbags, no problem. I also love the fact that it is made up of 3 different pieces of canvas, and to me, that makes it that much more durable, and I will talk about that in just a second, because I haven't experienced any type of corner wear or anything like that. So you do have canvas on this side, one piece here, and then the main piece that goes from front to back there. So I absolutely love that. The biggest con with this one is because of the size, you're not able to carry as much as you would in the cosmetic pouch. So you might be a little bit more limited as to what you can end up carrying in here. Now, when it comes to the cosmetic pouch, the biggest pro, of course, is the size that it has, and you are able to carry a lot more with you, so I think that's wonderful. My biggest con when it comes to the cosmetic pouch is the structure that it has, because it is one piece of canvas, and I didn't have the best experience in the past because I did have this same cosmetic pouch in the 3 canvas prints. I have since sold them because the corners end up wearing very, very quickly, at least in my experience, like I said before. So I ended up seeing that they were starting to peel. I did have the same type of peeling happening with the Demi Azur, and that one also ended up changing color because I ended up putting a Demi Azur item inside of a Demi Ben handbag, which I don't recommend because then the corners ended up turning pink, and then after that it started to kind of wear a little bit more than I would have liked. But yeah, I'm just not fond of these folded corners because I don't think that it ends up wearing it doesn't end up aging very well, in my opinion, at least for how I end up incorporating these items into my collection. So it was a major bummer. Sometimes I also found that it was a little bit bulky just because it does have a bigger base. I don't think that you can go wrong with either. I think that they are absolutely beautiful, but in my experience, I just found that the Toiletry silhouette ends up wearing a lot better for longer periods of time than the Cosmetic pouch. But this one can end up carrying a crazy amount of items, and I think that's amazing. So again, hopefully this is able to help you out. And what about you guys? Which one do you prefer out of the two? Let us know in the comment section down below. But whichever one you decide to go for, major congratulations. Next question from Sarah Wright. If you were to design a bag or small leather good for Chanel that they don't already have, what would it be? All right, so I know that Chanel has a plethora of small leather goods and handbags, and I don't think that they have a bag out there or a small leather good that I would end up being able to create that they don't already have. However, I am going to cheat. Yes, I am going to cheat, and I am going to say I would tweak a small leather good to make it a little bit more user-friendly, at least in my opinion, and that would be the Beauty CC pouch. So I love this pouch. I think it's awesome. You guys know I end up using it sometimes as a catch-all, mostly as a wallet. I think it's perfect for smaller handbags as well because it doesn't take up too much space. However, what I would end up doing to tweak this, I would make it a little bit wider, just because I feel like with this one, if you end up putting a few more items in here, it starts to get very bulky very quickly, and then the zipper is wonky. So if it was a little bit wider, I think it would be great. And I will also end up attaching a chain to it, kind of like the mini pochette. That's pretty much what I'm going for, because I don't think, I could be wrong, I don't think that Chanel has something that could rival, if you will, the Louis Vuitton mini pochette. I think that this would be the closest thing to it. Again, I could be wrong, and if you guys know of one, let me know in the comment section down below. But if they added a chain to this to be able to use it as a clutch, to use it or not a clutch, a wristlet, use it as a little mini handbag or what have you, I think that would be a little bit better. So not necessarily a stationary one, but one that I can move around. I think that would be even more amazing. But I'm curious, what about you guys? If you could create a handbag or a small leather good that Chanel doesn't already have, or if you can tweak one of the ones that they already have, which one would that be and why? Let us know in the comment section down below. Oh, and I'll have to say one other thing. If I was able to tweak a handbag, hands down, for sure, it would end up being the Chanel Le Boy bag. I would do something about that strap to make it stay in one place, to not have it be all over the place and have a mind of its own. I would I would either have maybe get rid of the chain and just have the leather strap part to it. I don't know, but I would definitely end up tweaking that bag. But anywho, again, if you guys could end up creating or tweaking something from Chanel, let us know in the comment section down below. Next question from Lana Cogshaw. Hopefully I said that correctly. During these crazy times, I think that we are looking for items that give us comfort. What items in your collection do you go to on tough days when you need a comfort or security object? Do you have a bag or small leather good that is equivalent of Linus's blanket? All right, so at first I was thinking it would have to be my 6-ring key holder from Louis Vuitton, right? In the monogram canvas, of course, because it is my ride or die item. I'm very fond of it, and I love the memories that are attached to it as well. But at the same time, I was like, you know what? I don't think so. Even though I love everything about it, it's not an item that I would consider to be a security object. So then I was thinking maybe a handbag. And as I sat here, I can honestly say that I don't have any luxury goods that bring me that comfort that I need when I need it. There is one item that I actually do end up carrying in all of my bags because of that same thing. And I didn't really put two and two together until I saw your question. But there is one item that I carry with me, whether I go for bare essentials or whether I go for the biggest handbag that I have. I always carry it with me, and whenever I feel kind of down in the dumps, or whenever I have a panic attack, or whenever I need that comfort, whenever I need whenever I need something to put me in a better state of mind, I always end up reaching for it. And that's a picture. That's a picture that I have in my handbag, and it is a picture of my family members, and it is incredibly near and dear to my heart. I did not expect to get so emotional, but every time that I look at it, and if I feel that way, it automatically puts me in a better mood. It puts me in a better state of mind, and it gives me the warm and fuzzies. And in a way, it's almost like it reaches out and it gives me a hug and tells me everything's going to be okay. I know that might sound so corny, but there is no luxury good on the face of this earth that can do what that picture does. So it just warms my heart, and it is definitely the most valuable thing that I have in my handbag. That brings me that comfort. That brings me that comfort when I need it, when I seek it. And even if I'm not feeling that way, and if I just want to feel even happier than I am at the moment, I bust it out as well, and I grin like an idiot from ear to ear. So I know that might sound kind of silly, but it is definitely a picture. What about you guys? Do you have a small leather good? Do you have a handbag that you end up reaching for to give you that comfort during these times? Let us know in the comment section down below. And the last question from Alexis: do you have any go-to non-luxury items, or do you always use luxury small leather goods and bags? No, I don't always use luxury small leather goods or handbags. Sometimes I do end up going for contemporary, such as Longchamp, Furla, or Coach, and other times I go for uber low-key ones, and I did bring those out so I could share them with you. So the first one you guys have seen a million times on Instagram. You've seen it on my What's in My Bag videos, but this little pouch, my cold hard cash pouch. So this pouch, I ended up picking it up at Z Gallery, I want to say 2.5 years ago. I paid 20 bucks for it, and I think it is the cutest thing. It already does have some color transfer on the back, but I've used it as a wallet, I've used it as a catch-all, I've used it as like a mini cosmetics case, you name it. I think that this thing has paid for itself a million times over, and I've often thought about going back to Z Gallery and getting another one. Actually, I don't even know if they still carry them. I know at the time they had a few other colors and they had a few other slogans, but every time I think about going back, I'm just like, you know what? Nah, let's just keep this one, because it is, I don't know, I just feel like it's just one of those things that just makes me so happy every time that I bust it out. So love this little pouch. All right, these next two you guys have also seen, these bad boys. These are pouches that I picked up at Target in the dollar section. And I don't know about you guys, but real quick side note, that dollar section, or that, you know, that $1 to $3 to $5 section that Target has at the entrance, I am obsessed with it, regardless of what I'm going in there for, especially if it's a quick in and out trip. I always make time to go into that section, because you never know what you're gonna find, and they have some killer deals. They have super cute things. But anywho, with these pouches, I've actually used them mostly as cosmetic pouches, because I did have an incident where one of the tops off one of my lotions ended up popping off, and it's not that it necessarily leaked inside of my bag or anything like that, but at the same time I was thinking, okay, I do have small leather goods that aren't technically cosmetic pouches that I end up using as such, and if I end up having it, if it opens up, if it leaks, if it gets everywhere, I'd rather it happen in something like this instead of one of those types of pouches. So that's mostly how I end up using them, and they've been great. I think that they're super, super cute. They're fun. They're iridescent, they're shiny, they're right up my alley, and I don't think it's that big of a deal if anything ended up happening to them, but I think that these are awesome. So mostly as cosmetic pouches, and I mostly end up using them inside of my larger totes, especially when I end up carrying other small leather goods that are really bright or have a lot of colors. I don't know, it just makes me happy every time I open up my bag and I see those. Now the last one, this is a little bit newer, but I've had it for about 3 months and I love it. This tote right here. Okay, so this tote I got at Hobby Lobby. It was on sale. I ended up picking it up for, I wanna say $7 or $8, but I love it. Technically, it's a beach tote. However, I have used it as a go around town type of tote. I've used it for groceries. I've used it for so many different things. It is ridiculously spacious. I've already gotten it pretty dirty, but I just think it's so cute. And it also came with this guy. It had this guy attached. I know that you're supposed to cut this off, but I kind of like it like this. I don't know, but I think it's awesome. It's just a simple, fun tote, and being able to use it and incorporate it various ways, not just as a beach tote, not just as a grocery tote, or just as an oversized tote that I want to use if I'm just running quick errands. I think it's awesome as well. The hubby looks at me and he's like, oh my gosh, he's all, that thing is enormous, and it is, but it's super cute, and I couldn't pass it up, right? For $8 or $7, whatever it was. Yeah, Hobby Lobby for the win. But those have been some of my go-to non-luxury, uber low-key items that I've been enjoying for the last couple of years or for the last couple of months, in addition to Coach, Furla, and the other brands that I talked about. But don't get me wrong, I love luxury goods. I love the handbags, I love the small leather goods, the craftsmanship, the history, the detail, all of that is great. But at the same time, I don't want to limit myself to only buying luxury goods, to only being able to enjoy luxury goods. Not at all. There are so many amazing items out there, and whether they're a little bit more expensive or whether they're a couple of bucks, I'm going to enjoy them just the same. So I would love to know, do you guys have any non-luxury or uber low-key items that you're loving? Let us know in the comment section down below. But awesome question. All right, you guys, that does it for Minks Monday Q&A. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope I was able to help. You guys had some awesome questions this week. If you enjoyed it, make sure and give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys later. And as always, make it a fabulous day or not, the choice is yours. Have a great day.